Welcome to this video. I'm Narendra Verma. I'm going to show you how you can develop your first PhoneGap application or Android application using PhoneGap framework. In this blog, I have shown the step-by-step process to start with PhoneGap framework or developing the Android application using PhoneGap framework. First of all, what about this PhoneGap? PhoneGap is a mobile development framework. With the help of this PhoneGap framework, you can develop mobile application using JavaScript, HTML5 and CSS3. Whatever the application is developed using PhoneGap framework, those applications are called as a hybrid applications. Generally, hybrid apps can be run inside a device native container where device's browser engine is used to render HTML and process JavaScripts. So this is all about this PhoneGap framework. You can pretty much find a detail on this PhoneGap framework on net, or you can refer this paragraph just to understand what is this PhoneGap framework is about. Now, before using or starting this PhoneGap framework, you have to ensure whether you have installed JDK, Android SDK, Android Studio in your local environment, and also you have to ensure all these variables, environment variables, are set properly. So Java Home should be there, your Android SDK platform tools and tools directory should be in the path variable just like this. The third one is whatever the ent you have deployed, Apache ent, the ent home should be added into the path variable so that you can run ent program from anywhere from the command prompt. So once you have set it up completely, now this is the step to start with the installing and setting up the PhoneGap framework. What you have to do first, you have to just go to this site and download the PhoneGap framework. Whenever I have written this blog, I have downloaded this PhoneGap 2.9.1 to start with the PhoneGap framework. Once you downloaded this PhoneGap directory, you just extract it out and go to the live Android and framework folder. So this will look like this if you go to this live Android and framework. So go to the command prompt and run this Android update project.p. Why we are running this command is, before starting with any PhoneGap framework, we need to generate or have the cordova.jar file. So to generate the cordova.jar file, we have to perform these steps. So first we are performing this Android update. Once you perform this Android update, the actions or console output will be like this. After performing this step, what you have to do, you just go to live Android framework, again the same directory that we talked about, this one, and run this ent jar. That's why we have installed this ent. So once you run the ent jar, the live Android framework will contain the Cordova jar, whatever is generated using this ent jar. So see how this will be like. If you go here, framework, this is the Android framework, and this Cordova jar is generated using your ent.jar. Once you have done these steps, what you have to do now, you have to create the project that is based on the PhoneGap. So let us create a project from scratch. What you have to do, you just need to perform the command, that is create, provide your directory where you want to have this project into the directory structure, what should be your package name for this directory, and what is your project name. So let me copy this one and paste here, and if you just press the enter, it will go and generate the projects. It will take some time to generate it, but it will print what is going to be generated. So creating new Android project, copying template files. So this is generated now. Now let us go to the project directory where this project has been generated. So this hello world we have generated right now, and if you go here libs, it will contain the Cordova jar. That means your jar is combined or bind up with this lib directory, and your hello world project is there as a first project of your PhoneGap. Now just open your Android Studio. So once you open the Android Studio, it will ask whether you want to import any project. So let's choose this one, import non-Android Studio project, and go to the same directory where the project is generated. So I just navigated to this hello world where we have generated this project and click on OK. So this is going to be installed in the Android Studio projects directory. Let me click here. Now by default all these options are checked. Click finish. So now your Android Studio is being opened for this Hello World project. Wait for some time, it will be opened and it will show your project is imported successfully. So the Gradle script is just being executed, and now your studio is opened containing the Hello World project. Okay, so let us close this one. Let us reload it. So the very first file that is being shown is import summary.txt. With the help of this import summary, you can pretty much see how this project is imported and where all the files are copied in our actual project. So this is the actual project that we imported, and now it's an Android Studio project where we can have the response, assets, whatever the www like whenever the JavaScript files, CSS3, all these files are combined or copied here. So let us go to the index.html. So this will be the HTML file that is loaded when you run your application. So let us add any line of HTML element just to ensure whether we are able to print it out or not. So I'm adding here in the body section inside it. So this is Narendra, welcome to my PhoneGap Hello World project. So we have added this line. Now your project is there, you just added this one. You need to go here and run your project. Once you run it, this will ask whether you want to use emulator to load your application or to execute your application. So it's being loaded. Yep. So it is asking me whether launch emulator. My ABD I have already created. So this is my emulator ABD that I have created, and I'm going to run my project on this ABD. So see this one, the emulator is opened. Whatever the application we are trying to run, this will be deployed into emulator, and we can see how this project looks like, whatever this there in the index.html. So in body section we have seen this div is there and the class is there. So it's being loaded. So all these lines, those are selected like connecting to device is ready. This is Narendra, welcome to my PhoneGap Hello World project. All these lines should be printed as part of first page of that application. It takes some time generally to load the complete ABD. Yeah, it's loaded now. Now let's unlock it. And once it is unlocked, now it's going to deploy your application inside this ABD. Maybe in few seconds you will see your running application properly there on this project. Yeah. So now it's loaded properly, and you can see pretty much here Apache Cordova, that is device is ready. This is Narendra, welcome to my PhoneGap Hello World project. So this is all about creating the Hello World project for PhoneGap. I hope this will help you out to create your first project. Thanks a lot for listening.